This is KGW News at Sunrise.
The big story this morning, of course, is the weather. The valley is iced out following a round of freezing rain. Some big things to know this morning. Lots of school closures, lots of school delays as well. MAX lines still suspended. Some bus routes detoured and suspended as well. A lot of flights canceled out of PDX this morning, too.
We have team coverage for you this morning with crews spread out throughout the area, including a crew in Clark County, one in Troutdale. And we do have Drive 8 riding around on Portland streets. We're going to check in with all those crews here in just a minute. As we say, thanks for joining us on this Wednesday morning. Of course, Rod has the update on our forecast, but Christine's going to tell us about some school closures and delays right now.
Right, so a lot of districts making the call late yesterday afternoon or early evening to cancel school altogether today, including Portland Public, Gresham Barlow, Beaverton. You can see some of the closings and delays right there on your screen. The delays, Salem Kaiser, 1 hour late. In Southwest Washington, Vancouver just announced it'll be 2 hours late. Evergreen as well. You can find updates scrolling at the bottom of your screen this morning. You can also head to our KGW website for a full list.
Well, the ice storm warning is still with us because temperatures are still below freezing, and basically the Weather Service, I would think, would keep the ice storm warning up until the temperature gets above 32, and then it will instantly drop as we change all precip over to just rain. But for right now, radar is showing light freezing rain and salmon color here in the Portland metro area. Now, in just the past little bit, we've seen a little surge in temperatures on the west side. We're now up to 30 in Hillsboro and Beaverton. It's now 31 in Oregon City. Still 23 in Troutdale, where east winds are gusting out of the gorge, blowing off of very cold air, still gusting to 30 plus. So it's going to be a while before we can warm up this immediate, what we call outflow area coming out of the gorge. I just saw this for the first time myself. It warms my heart, literally. Salem and McNary Field now reporting a temperature of 38 degrees. So Silverton now 43. So the warming that looked like it would happen as soon as shortly after midnight last night is now finally coming up the valley. Look at Bend, 39. So you folks are out of the ice storm conditions in Salem, and eventually the warming will continue to move up into the Portland area. It'll be a gradual process. I'm being super conservative on my temperatures. The big story here at noon is above freezing. And then the big story later today, a great chance of hitting 40 or better. Here is Mr. McGinnis.
Awesome. Okay, Interstate 84, of course, remains closed in the gorge. We've got a live report on that coming up in just a minute. And by the way, SR 14, no trucks allowed between Washougal and White Salmon, and WashDOT is strongly recommending traction tires or chains there. We do have a crash on I-5 southbound near the 205 ramp as we get back to the roads. This is a look at 205 and then ramp from I-5 north to 205. Looks like we've got a tractor trailer there over on the side. And there's a look at the freeway. I mean, cars are moving on the freeways, but obviously those have been treated. This is I-205 up near Mill Plain on the Vancouver side of things, and that looks like a bumpy drive. But again, side roads, a completely different story out there. And I know we've got crews out there to go ahead and show us what it looks like. We'll go ahead and head out to the Columbia River Gorge in Troutdale. John, how's the wind out there this morning?
Well, Chris, the wind is absolutely whipping out here. Rod just talked about it just a minute ago, saying it was blowing close to 30 miles an hour, and you can definitely feel it out here. The good news is not a lot of precipitation falling right now, maybe just a light drizzle from times, but hopefully we're not going to get any more ice accumulation because we're standing close to this tree right here and it is coated with ice. Thankfully, some of the limbs are sagging a little bit, but it's not too bad. It could be worse if we had more ice accumulation here, but it is definitely coated. But the story of this whole weather system really is these strong east winds blowing out of the gorge. And, you know, this wind is so strong that it's the type of wind where it's sometimes hard to open up your car door. It's blowing so strong and consistently. But we are here in Troutdale, and I-84 is still closed, and we saw those emergency vehicles on the highway blocking it off just to make sure that no cars attempt to go down. And we see a lot of semi trucks here at the Love's truck stop and the other truck stops here, semi trucks that have had to exit, and truckers hunkering down for the storm. You can feel it. It's you kind of have to get a good stance here because that wind is really blowing. But again, not a lot of precipitation falling from the sky, maybe just a little bit of snow blowing around here, but we'll continue to monitor it throughout the morning. But it doesn't seem like here we are close to going above freezing, guys.
Yeah, I could see the wind knocking the camera around a little bit. John Adams there out in Troutdale. Thanks for being up with us early. I know this is not your regular shift. Stay warm, get back in the car for now. Okay, now to PDX, where the ice also affecting flights this morning. Right now, there are 23 cancellations, 23 delays. If you are headed to the airport today, check flypdx.com before you go out.
We're going to head to Clark County next. That's where Devin Haskins is for us this morning. So, Devin, just before we went on the air at 4:30, Vancouver Public Schools announced they are going to open 2 hours late today. So just want to make sure people know about that update before we let them know where you're at exactly in Clark County.
Yeah, so downtown Vancouver right now is where we're at, Broadway and 7th right now, just kind of one of the streets in downtown Vancouver. And we came across this street, so we were driving in. You can see the lights, the street lights, kind of gives you a good idea of the glisten of the ice, the sheet of ice that is on this street here, and many of the streets that we came across here. Now, I am walking fine. I'm going to say that I actually have crampons on. They're little spikes or whatever to help me kind of walk around in this ice. I didn't have them on earlier. We stepped out to check our chains to make sure that they were fine. Got out. Feet went out from underneath me, flat on my back. So it is, as you would assume, a sheet of ice out there if you step out. And, I can't say how much is here because you also have the packed down snow as well. But you still got the ice coming down. It's not above freezing right now. Vancouver Schools says they'll also make a determination and keep an eye on how things are going to see if maybe they end up delaying it maybe another hour, a 3-hour late start, or a cancellation, depending on how this freezing rain comes down even further. And it's all about the bus safety and the hills and everything. One of the things I was going to show too, because I just thought it was kind of interesting, this was our car. So this is from last night as well. It sat out overnight, but it also it took a lot of that road spray. I mean, just the amount of, I'm going to break the mirror, ice that is on this thing. I mean, just thick ice, from when you get on that road spray. And it is, let's go. I'm going to see how far I can get this thing to slide, because why not? There you go.
Jeez,
wow.
It just looks like an ice rink
and
out there, Devin.
In fact, I'm going to do something I probably shouldn't do.
Oh my gosh.
I'm going to take off.
Devin.
Why? Why are you going to do this to yourself, Devin?
I can't.
It's 5:07 in the morning. We've got a lot of show left.
You guys,
we need you.
Didn't you see me? Didn't you see me on the skating rink a while ago?
Okay, I have faith.
So this is why. I mean, I'm not. Yeah. I'm just saying. I'm doing this basically because of how. Yeah.
Can
exactly.
I tell people you're doing this because you want to show them what they should not do?
Yes.
If they do step outside this morning?
Exactly. No, that is exactly why I'm doing this, to show how slick these streets are. This morning with all this ice. So I'm going to slowly walk back and get those things back on because
stay upright, my friend.
It's a sheet of ice out here.
Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah, get those crampons, those things back on your feet. Thank you for this report, Devin. Okay.
It does look like a skating rink.
It does. It really does.
It's not going to change in the next few hours.
Some spot
in Vancouver.
Let me get to that.
In Vancouver.
Let me get to that. Hey, take a look at the ice map. What are we doing? They're saying, move on. Yeah, let's go to the weather wall. Okay. This is how much ice is likely out there on the ground right now. Portland is reporting 23/100ths of moisture that came in with the storm. That was all freezing rain. Vancouver, similar. McMinnville, a little bit more. Salem was about 1/2 inch. Again, that was all freezing rain. Corvallis was 68/100ths of an inch. And we still, in fact, the salmon color on radar have mostly light freezing rain showers out there right now. And the reason I was like, Drew, hold on a second, because I wanted to get to this map and show that in just the past half an hour, we're starting to see little surges of south winds pick up and the warming starting to pick up. So this is a big deal that it's now 30 in Sherwood, Tiger, Beaverton, Hillsboro. That's a warming surge that started to pick up. Oregon City's 31. Now, to Drew's point, 26 in Vancouver, 28 degrees up in Battleground, and we still have, where John Adams is reporting live for us out near the gorge, winds that have been gusting to more than 30 miles per hour. So it's pure guessing work to say areas near the Columbia River and to the north, when will you start to warm up if you're under the influence of those east winds? Those east winds may not shut down until closer to noon or even completely shut down until after that. But south of the east winds, we're really starting to warm up. Look at Salem now popping 38 degrees, Silverton 43. This is the warm up that we thought would happen shortly after midnight. It's just happened in the past hour. So your ice storm warning conditions are over down here in the Mid-Valley for the most part. Albany's at 33. It's been really warm at the coast. Newport's at 50. We've got warming up into Central Oregon where it's 39. So there's really no, what I would say, cold air forcing going on except for the east winds out of the gorge. And my point is the overall batch of air has every reason to be warming today, and we are finally seeing signs of that. Now, this is a sustained wind in Troutdale at 12, but the winds are gusting there to 30 or better. Most of the North Valley is still seeing calm winds, but look at this. This is big. This just started to develop in the last hour. It's not much, but it's a south wind direction in Corvallis. It's a south wind to 9 in Salem. There's why the coast has been warm. Newport's 50 degrees, southwest to 21. So that's what we're watching as forecasters, is a south wind surge, which eventually will warm everybody up. Now, this is 9 in the morning. It still shows the gorge and into Clark County, downtown Portland, is cold because we have an east wind direction. If the modeling is correct at 1 o'clock, though, we get quickly into the afternoon hours and everything turns to the south and then everybody will be warming up. And then this afternoon, it's increasing rain, except for, and even out in the gorge, but no promises on the gorge. It may continue to be some sort of a freezing rain or snow mix well into the afternoon. You just don't know when those east winds end until the end. That's just the way it is. But this shows there could be significant warming, mid to upper 40s in the Mid-Valley. Could happen just like that. Remember, it's 50 in Newport right now. Trying to get up to 40 in Longview, Battleground, and Vancouver. And then here are your other temperatures this afternoon. Above freezing in many areas, including John Day, Burns, Bend, 42, where it's already warming. And then you see the temperatures trying to get up into the 40s for much of the valley. Moving forward, I'm keeping an eye on Thursday overnight and Friday morning for maybe some spotty wintry precipitation issues. Otherwise, it's all rain. And now here is Chris McGinnis.
Rod, to your point about it warming up in Salem, in the last 10 minutes from when I showed you this camera shot to now, the icicles on this I-5 camera at Mill Creek have melted, right? So there's a good sign. We'll switch gears, take you a little farther north because it is a different story to get up into the Woodburn area. Oh, I missed that camera shot, but in any event, that was still covered in icicles. This is a live look at I-5 at 205, and you can see obviously the roads there look kind of messy. We do have a crash on I-5 southbound near the 205 interchange, and now it's just popping up. Looks like we've got a crash over in Lake Oswego on Highway 43 near Hidden Springs Drive this morning. For a live look at the roads here in Portland, we've got China Green out in Drive 8 this morning, bouncing around in the icy ruts over on the east side of town.
It has been a journey, let me tell you that. We just got outside just to kind of see how the ice is. It's ice, as you would expect. So we just drove on I-5 to get over here. We were kind of downtown at the last hit. Now we're in North Hayden Island Drive. Just take a look at this. Take a gander at what we're seeing right now. So we are looking at pretty much ice. So it kind of looks shiny and pretty and wet. Nope, straight ice. So Chris has been talking about the side roads. This is what he is talking about. There is no safe zone here unless you have spikes on your tires or on your shoes. You're gonna hurt yourself because, you know, I did and the other reporters have this morning. So we're just figuring out things for you this morning, but we're on studded snow tires, so we're okay right now. As we got here on the way, on I-5, we did see ODOT signs that said icy use caution. This is probably what they mean here. Sheets of ice on car windows, and the main roads have been okay. The highway was actually great. It's really the side roads that could be a problem. So I definitely want to walk outside. However, we're going to do that for you coming up at 5:30. So my poor photog here is going to brace himself down. We got the good shoes, and we're just going to show you what these side roads look like. Back to you guys.
All right, China Green reporting live for us this morning in Drive 8, heading through some of the streets in Portland. Meanwhile, let's talk about Salem. The Salem area was hit with freezing rain yesterday. Before we saw it here in Portland, we had crews there who said side streets were already slick before the sun went down, and the ruts that were built up from all that previous snow and ice really made for a pretty bumpy ride. We do want to report on one accident we know of on I-5 between Salem and Portland. It was in Wilsonville yesterday. A reported crash near Wilsonville, but we still haven't heard any word yet if anyone was injured in that crash. We have more Sunrise for you coming up right after this.